Please rise. We'll say a prayer first. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight once again to give you honor and glory and praise. Say thank you for an absolutely wonderful day. Lord, we thank you for your many blessings that you bestow upon us. Sometimes we don't see them, but we know they're there. Lord, we ask you to watch over and guide us through the Holy Spirit and help us to direct our paths. Lord, that we may come together as a community and a county. There's no R or no D beside your name. So, Father God, we just rest that aside tonight and help the commissioners to make the decisions that'll be the betterment to all, and help us to understand the concerns of the community. So we ask you to please forgive us of our sins and shortcomings, and watch over those who are sick and ailing. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Say a prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. If you haven't signed in, please do so there at the door. Roll call. Commissioner Warner. Here. Commissioner Risk. Here. Sam. I'm here. Approval of minutes. Gentlemen, you've had the chance to read your minutes.
Yes, sir. Move to approve. I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. 3-0. You guys got your mics on. Okay. Now we're going to do approval of claims and payroll. Payroll total is $306,935.14. Regular claims $834,258 and a penny. We have out of cycle claims, utilities, Visa, Huntington, and Evergreen. Total payroll claims is $1,215,204.08.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0. Okay, we're going to move to the financial report, Sheila.
You got it. So, the numbers are going to change drastically. We were able to do process settlement yesterday, so by middle of next week, we collected a little over $7 million in the fall settlement, so it'll be spread through a few of the funds, but you'll see it's making a number change, so I will send you updated copies when they come. There's only a couple funds that are negative right now. We're working on those. They will be done. Departments have gotten with me, and we're getting most of the transfers that need to be done. Council give us approval to do them, and then I'll just present them at their meeting in December. But if you have questions, holler. Also, don't forget that any claims, bills, or estimates that come in the month of December, they be encumbered. If you have bills coming in, or it does not have to be a bill, it can be an estimate, and it's really important to follow and watch them. I'll remind you again at your last meeting in December, and we've got to make sure that those are done, or if it just stays in your cash balance, you don't lose it, but you don't want to have to go back and get additional appropriations.
Correct. That it? Okay. We're going to move things around a little bit, because I know we have some people here tonight about the gun range, so we're going to move right into public comment. That way you can talk. We have Chief Deputy Matt Miller here from the Owen County Sheriff's Office to help answer questions, and we'll take them one at a time. And I'm from the old school. I like professionalism, and I don't have to tell nobody. Everybody knows me, so we just take it one at a time, voice your concerns, talk to us. We're here to listen, and we want to know what's got going on. So who wants to go first? Doug? Oh, sorry, he throwed his hand up first, sir.
I want to know why. I'm not a constant Facebook person. I want to know why that the people most affected by this was not spoken to by the Sheriff's Department in person. This come on me this morning like a tornado. My cows went spastic, and I raised some purebred Angus and get premium price for my calves. I don't want something to happen, that they jump the fence and something happens. This come on all of a sudden this morning with no warning, all day long. Why?
Why was it all day long, or why were you not talking?
No, why was we not told?
Okay, so, to be completely honest with you, individually going to houses, everybody that's gonna hear the gunfire, it's just not logical to be able to do.
I face 80% of the north end,
Mhm.
border it, join it together. I should have been told in person that this stuff was going on. And if you couldn't afford the gas to come down there, I'd have paid for your gas.
It's not about affording the gas, sir. It's about logistically, with the entire town of Packardburg could potentially have the same argument. We drove this morning to listen to the gunfire, because that's the first time we've actually used the range as a department, all right? An individual person out there shooting is one thing, but when we've got 12 shooters out there trying to get everything done at once, it obviously amplifies the sound. We went out and listened to the sound today since it was the first time we were using it. We didn't know what the sound was going to be. We knew there was going to be noise. That's why we tried to, in 3 meetings I think I've been to discuss this in public meetings, to get this out to the public, that, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what's happening out here. And then unfortunately, I mean, we don't have a daily paper anymore. I don't know if everybody would take the paper or not. Going around and knocking on every door in Packardburg or every person around the area is just not feasible for us to do.
It should have
We
been
put it
out
out
for
to
the poor
to
people
mass
that border
media.
the landfill.
And-
Poor
and-
people that
and-
border the
It's
landfill.
not more than 4.
Well, I mean, everybody, you can look on the plat, see the map, and everybody that borders that should have been told.
I apologize for that. We-
And if you want to check the echo and the sound, you should have pulled down my driveway, because it funnels right down that mountain.
Yeah, I sat close to your house there on Byerly Road at the school, went up by Mr. Long's house and down, Humpty Dumpty around, to try to listen to what it is. And I've never said from the beginning that this wasn't gonna be, as a matter of fact, the first time this was addressed, I think I tried to make it perfectly clear that I understand. Nobody wants this, I understand, but it's not going to be what people think it is. This is not a daily occurrence, it's gonna be happening all the time. We shot today for, hang on, I'm sorry, get this thing.
From 8 to 5.
Yes, sir, we had our session from 8 to 5 for a total of actual trigger time today. Our total trigger time was 20 minutes and 4 seconds.
Each time.
No, 20 minutes and 4 seconds total, the entire day that we were shooting.
But you should have come down to my driveway and watched my cows.
And I understand that, I really do. We're trying, we want to be good neighbors with everybody and let you guys know that we're not there to cause a problem. We have a statutory requirement. Our deputies and the citizens that we serve lives depend on us being able to utilize these firearms. We have to shoot somewhere, and if it wasn't there, granted, there was nowhere else for us to consider, but had there been, we would have the same thing somewhere else. I'm not saying, you know what, sorry that it happened in your guys' area, but that's the only place we had available that made sense, that was the best place to do it, that didn't cost the county any money, that we were able to get our training done.
Then I think that everybody that is adjoined to the county landfill property should have the right to go in there and inspect the backstops, because I know a lot about the backstops. And I think everybody should have that privilege to go in there and inspect the backstop and see how it's being done.
And I have no problem at all if people want to come take a look at it. We built a
I know
30-foot,
what backstop's supposed to be like.
we built a 30-foot backstop, it's 100 feet wide, about 50 foot at the base, and about 12 to 14 feet at the top, is what was built out there.
What'd you build it out of?
There,
How deep is it?
how deep, what do you mean? How at the base?
Yeah, back,
About 50 feet.
50 feet.
From 50 feet at the base to about 12 to 14 feet at the top.
I still think that it should be a right that we inspect them.
And that, if the commissioners want, that's their property, if they want to have people come out and take a look at it, I have no problem with that.
I'm good with that.
No issue with
As long
that.
as they're out there with you.
You show me that, and I'll show you where the methane gas blows out of the ground when we're farming. I'll trade you.
Well, that's, and I appreciate it, Bob, that's a separate issue than the gun range thing. But I understand the methane gas part as well, but that's a good idea. I don't think, as one commissioner, and we don't have to vote on this, we just nod our heads, I have no problem if you want to make arrangements with Chief Deputy Miller to go out there and look at the gun range. I mean, matter of fact, I applaud that. I think you go out there, make an appointment with him to go out there and look at the range and see what your thoughts are on that. That'd be first step. And sir, the John Deere hat. What, I can't remember your name.
I'm Gary Long.
Gary.
Yeah, I'm the bad guy, Gary.
Well, you know, Gary, somebody's got to start.
I'm going off the assumption that, talking to the sheriff, that the safety is fine. Okay, so I'm sure there's other concerns, but speaking for myself and a few other people I've talked to, I have to go off of his knowledge that they've taken every precaution for stray bullets and anything else. My whole issue was the sound, the noise, and also when he told me it's 2 times a year, I felt like that's acceptable. We understand that there's got to be a place to practice, qualify, and everything else. So, but I understand I've been in this kind of stuff a while, and it's sometimes a slippery slope. So a couple times a year turns into 4, then turns into 6, then turns into 12. And so I think that just talking with the area, and I've talked to everybody that just joins the property. I've got 140 acres on Humpty Dumpty that goes the whole length. And I know Megan Warland, and they on the other side, and then everybody behind. I had a friend of mine at a farm I own 6 miles down the road off Patricksburg Road. He's sitting in the stand and said, "Are they shooting at your house?" 6 miles down their road, they heard the gunshot. And I saw you guys out in front of my driveway today, you know, listening.
Yeah.
And I videotaped, and my back yard, my porch is maybe 300 or 400 yards through the woods. And I can play you the videotape. It's loud, and I can imagine with horses, dogs, and animals, pets, things like that. What I'm getting to and what I would like, I don't like a fight, I like a compromise, and I was hoping that maybe if the sheriff says they need it twice a year, that can change. You know, there may be something else, you know, maybe it's Owen County Sheriff, maybe it's Spencer PD, and that's a separate day. And I was hoping that there would be a chance that we would consider 6 times a year. And that way, if you have overflow, you have special requirements, you have something going on, just to have some kind of a memorandum of understanding that we're all in agreement on it, and not have it on a Thursday during Memorial Week, a holiday, 4th of July, so if we're having family picnics and things like that. And also, and I'm gonna be selfish on this, I'm a deer hunter, and today, right in the middle of the day, during Deer Week, you know, so maybe if we could, and I know probably that was preset, you had to qualify, and it is. So I'm just talking going forward.
Yeah.
Could we do like maybe not October and November, any other time except holidays? And if we could just maybe come to some agreement. I know the attorneys don't want to sign an agreement that locks them in, but I think it solves a lot of problems. And I think after today's practice qualification, there's some people that didn't know it, you know, and it's going to be, it's probably going to be more. So, you know, if we verbally said we're only going to use it twice a year, I don't know why we couldn't get into a written agreement, especially if we expand it to 6, why we couldn't find some common ground on that. And that's all I wanted to bring up. And I have a document that I can share, a hard copy, that you guys can look at, and we can talk at a next meeting. I can forward Mr. Reeves a soft copy.
Sure,
So
anything.
if there wants to be any changes, can I?
Yeah, and you mentioned something about you down the road. I live in town, unfortunately. I mean, somebody's got to live somewhere, but I came from the country. I live in the Washington district. I hear deer hunters, and so hearing it 6 miles down the road is irrelevant to the cause.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just
Because I can
saying-
hear
Yeah.
And I'm
But
not-
my point
but I
is,
understand
if
what
you
you're
hear it
saying.
6 miles down the road,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
pretty loud, what's it sound 200
Sure.
yards from your back
I understand.
porch? And I can, does this speaker work?
Yeah, get right up there and sit- turn that button on.
Just hit the button, yeah.
Yeah. State your name again.
Gary Long.
Good.
That's 400 yards away in my backyard. And so again, I think if it's a few times a year for qualifications and it doesn't become a, we need to practice, or Clay County needs to come in, Greene County needs to come in, we need to have a special event. I think that there is some common ground there, and I'm again speaking just from the people I've spoken
Sure.
with, that we could deal with it. We understand the need, the land's there, it's probably a perfect setup. I've been on that property a handful of times, helping move hay around and seen it. So, and downrange, it's a long way. So a stray bullet is probably, again, if all the precautions are taken, I'm sure that's not as big of an issue. But that, more than a few times a year, I think would be more burdensome to everybody. And that's,
A couple things. So when we're talking qualifications, all right, I'm talking when we have department-wide, a bunch of shooters out there. So I can and I think I said this at the last meeting, you know, we have statutory requirements of the minimum training we have to do for firearms. It's minimum, and to be completely honest with you, it's pathetic. You can't expect these deputies to go out and do the job they're expected to do at the proficiency that all the public expects of them when they can't practice. So I mentioned it the last time, I would love to be able to shoot 4, 6, 12 times a year. I can't afford to do that.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen, plain and simple. Twice a year, to be completely honest with you, in years past, we haven't been able to get that done half the time. You know, we'll try to plan it, but it doesn't work out. When we do range days, we don't have the luxury of staff to be able to juggle the staff enough to really get everybody in at one time. The larger range now that we have with 12 lanes, we have qualified 26 people, so I'm usually too shy, but there's almost always someone that for whatever reason can't make range day with do a makeup day anyway. So today got us through the vast majority of our people. If we are back out there to finish statutory qualifications, it will be with one single shooter that wasn't able to make it one day. You know, I would hope that that's not as big of an inconvenience, you know, hearing one gun going off, you know, as opposed to an entire line. You know, I totally understand that. So I think it's pretty easy to say, this is how many times we're going to be qualifying for an entire department-wide group qualification where it would be like it was today. Now, with the commissioners, you mentioned other departments coming in. The commissioners own the land. It's up to them on what they want to do with it. If they say that, hey, this is local departments only, then that's up to them. We run into the same situation. Some people have mentioned, well, why can't you go to another range? We run into the same situation there. If we ask to use their range, they've got people that don't want to hear the noise too, and they're like, nope, no one uses our range. So everyone's running into the same problem. So do we have departments? I will tell you 100%. We have had a couple departments ask us. They haven't been told anything yet. We've had 2 departments specifically that have approached me. And that doesn't include Spencer Police. They've always shot at the range we shot at before. I'm only going to assume they would want to come shoot at this range. That has not been addressed yet. They're a smaller department, so it wouldn't be as many people, but again, that's something that depending on how this discussion goes, it has to be addressed. Monroe County, Ellisville has shot at our range in the past. Conservation has asked about it. So yeah, there's a handful of departments. It's nice to be able to help out, but at the same time, like I said, I want to be good neighbors. I don't want you guys, I want to be able to have a place where the deputies can come out and train, where we can train them properly and not cause any more of a burden than what we have to cause. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I hate the fact that, that Doug came out today and he was obviously upset, and I understand that. I apologize for that. I wish we would have had a little more forethought on the approaching the direct adjoining neighbors. To be completely honest with you, I was surprised at the direction the sound actually went. That was a surprise to me. I'm not an acoustical engineer, so I don't know that, but it surprised me the direction the sound actually went. It's actually louder at your place than it is at the places I thought it would be louder at. And the guns that we shot, I think the handguns were actually louder than the rifles were, which surprised me a great deal too. So we want to work with you guys. We don't want this to be a problem. We don't want you guys, the last thing we want to do is for you to not be able to enjoy your property or cause you any problems with your lifestyles. That is not what we're trying to do. I can tell you how many days we're going to be shooting. I can give you advance notice. If we don't do Facebook, we can come up with a way to let you know that, hey, we're shooting on this day. The holidays thing, we don't shoot on holidays. That's if anybody was here, you know, or knows anybody that lived in the Shepherd Patrick area, we shot there for years. We didn't shoot on holidays. We don't shoot on Sundays. Deer season, turkey season. This was and I hated it today. As a matter of fact, when Doug came up, I thought someone's pissed off because we're shooting while they're trying to hunt. You know, is what I thought was going to be the comment. And this is the first time I've been firearms instructor for the sheriff's office since 2008, and this is the first time we've shot that I can remember that we've shot this close to opening deer season. I don't do it. I understand that most of our guys are hunters too, and we don't do it. Well, half the time they don't want to come to work anyway because it's opening season. So, we don't do that. So that in the future, I can tell you. You know, our guys are told, can't shoot at this time, can't shoot on Sundays, can't shoot at before or after dark. That is all fine. And if someone is shooting out there on a holiday, something like that, they know better. Call us, I'll address it. But I really don't think you'll have an issue with that.
Well, just real quick then, because what I just heard went from talking to the sheriff a few weeks ago, we're only going to qualify, we're only going to be out there 2 times a year, and then what I just heard from you was, could be 10, could be 12, we may have to go out and practice a little bit, we may have a guy couldn't show up. Now it expands into 15, 20
But those are
times.
individuals.
Okay, still, I spoke with the realtor last week, and he said if this turns into a range that's actively used, it affects everybody's property value in the area. So now it turns into a monetary issue other than a quality of life issue. And I'm just hoping that we don't have to go down that road.
Can I interject on something? And I'm not the bad guy. Is anybody sitting out here in this crowd target practice at their house?
At my house?
Does anybody sitting here target practice or shoot at their own house? He does, and she does. See, and the reason I'm bringing that up is because, you know, I understand. Believe me, this is all gonna work out, and I'm positive over 9 yards. But people target practice at home and shoot, and I love to shoot too, you know. I can't wait to move back to the country so I can shoot. I'm going out to Bob's house and shooting, by the way, so coming out to Bob. But that's okay for that to go on and the neighbors to hear somebody target practicing at their house. But if Johnny Deputy needs to go out and qualify at a range, that's not right.
No, I don't think we're saying that. I think it's just, when we target practice, I shoot once or twice. I don't really shoot at my house, but I
Right.
shoot once or twice, zero it in.
I understand.
Because I can't afford the bullets either.
Yeah,
You know,
they're
so
expensive.
So it's a once here, once there. Today was, I shot my buck last night, so I sat home today. So, but I sat there all day long, and it was 20 minutes, I get it, but it's about the time you kind of relax, it's a wah, you know, so again, I'm hoping that there's common ground here.
There is.
And we can figure it out, and I think everybody would be okay. We understand the need. It is in a community. There's 2 churches there, there's a school there, it's a lot of homes in the area. It's a great place because you own the ground and it's a lot of ground there, just a poor location. Poor location for a dump to begin with, and the worst location for the range, so.
Any other, yes, sir.
Well, I've only lived here for not a year yet, but where I lived at before, if they changed use of property, they put signs out along where the use of property was gonna change. And that way the residents had a chance to say, this meeting's gonna be about this on such night at such time. And if we'd have had that opportunity, we'd all came to the meeting. And then you would have known ahead of time before they built the road back there and everything else that, hey, maybe we need to look into something. And I brought up at the last meeting that the DNR runs that range at 243 there by Cataract. And that is a gun range that's already in operation, so nobody's gonna complain if the sheriff's department or the Spencer Police Department, I mean, I'm sure there's deputies a little closer to there than they do Patricksburg, but, and I'm not trying to be hard to get along with at all, but, I think the whole thing would have been better if everybody would have known and we could have talked it out ahead of time. Because it was a landfill and it went from landfill to a shooting range without anybody knowing that it was gonna change to that. That's,
Well, I don't, and I appreciate the comment, I really do. We had public meetings about this gun range here in this room.
and
Now,
we have known about, that's what I'm,
and yeah, and I'm not a social media guy, I don't know anything
Yeah.
about social media, so, you know, if we fell short on our end by doing anything, you know, I guess we'll take the heat for that or whatever. I agree with Mr. Long, is that?
Mr. Long, Gary.
And with all of us here, and with the chief, I think we got common ground to work on. You know, this is not this is a done deal, or this is this rant and rave, because, you know, I know where Matt's coming from. By being a former sheriff and stuff like that, I know how hard it is to get the guys trained and qualified and how expensive it is and stuff like that. And it's nice to have a place of your own that you can make arrangements and go do things and get the quality marksmanship that he requires, you know. So I think we got a few things to work on, but I don't think there's anything insurmountable here that we can't hash out over here in the next month or so and talk with the chief. I ask you all, anybody out here that's interested, to go to contact Chief Deputy Miller to go out and look at the range. Get your thoughts. Yes, sir.
Where were they qualifying at before?
Harley Melton's range, there. You know where Harley?
Yes.
Shepherd.
So
We did.
that's where they were.
Yeah, for
On private property.
40 years.
Yeah.
And, you know, that,
And we could hear it, we live probably, 4 miles from there,
Yep.
and we could hear it. But I can hear hunters all the time too, that go
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom. I mean, this last weekend, it's pretty loud, so.
They must have been sighting themselves in.
is there anybody else? Yeah, well, don't look that hand. Let's start with you. Ladies first.
Who had their hand up?
Everybody did.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Brett, because you're the one most affected.
We're all trained. Did you use a device to measure the decibels when you're driving around listening to noise?
No.
Will you?
Hadn't planned
I just,
on it,
I
you know.
feel like the recording on his phone would hit a lot harder here if it was played at decibels without on his front porch. So I think everybody here that's saying we're making a big deal out of nothing might realize why we're concerned. So if the decibels could be measured in different places, and then you play that recording at that decibel level in this room, it's like, oh, you know, these guys might have a point.
Sure, and I'm not arguing, I'll be the first one to tell you, I let you go, but it's noticeably loud. I mean, it's 12 guns going off at one time and echoing through the area. I mean, this is what it is. I can't downplay that at all. It makes noise. I listened to one shooter specifically, you know, just a single gun drove around and thought, you know, it doesn't seem anything out of the ordinary from what would happen in a, you know, a normal setting of the country or someone out there shooting. But I knew it was going to be loud on, and I think I put that out again, you know, the best way I can get mass information out through social media that, you know, it's not gonna be quiet. I hope it's not insanely loud. Unfortunately, we can't afford to put suppressors on all of our guns or build interstate noise baffles. That would be great if we could do all that. You know, so no, I'm not saying you have no grounds of I completely understand where you're coming from. If I wouldn't want to hear it either.
Well, beyond not wanting to hear it, I would get to the point of doing damage. What, 90 decibels starts causing damage. And so I just want to make sure everybody knows what it is we're hearing out there. And, you know, in my case, I have a 2-year-old. If I put her to bed to take a nap in her crib and they're shooting them, you know, and that's a 1 day or it's a 12-day a year thing, yeah, that can be worked around. But back to letting other law enforcement in, and all of a sudden 12 days turns into 16, turns into 20.
That's not even considered at this moment.
I'd like a commitment from
Yeah,
our
yeah.
commissioners that we won't let out.
We'll make no commitments, not on guarantees on anything, until let's iron through a few things at first. And I understand, Brett, where you come from. I really do. But I'm gonna go back to the same thing I said a while ago. When I lived in the country, I heard people shooting around me all the time, stuff like that. I had cows and stuff, and I understand Doug's concern. I can't tell a deer hunter to not hunt today because my kid's going to take a nap. I can't do that. That's irresponsible of me to tell a hunter, and where I used to live, they hunted all around, and I understand. But I do understand where you're coming from. I think the biggest concern here that's coming up that I see is I believe some people are thinking that we're gonna go from practicing 6-7 times a year to 20 times a year. That'll have to come before the Board of Commissioners. Anybody that wants to shoot out there at that range has to qualify through him first, because he's the firearm instructor. Then they'd have to come to us and present that. We're not even close to that.
Well, I feel like the opportunity was missed to be forthright about this happening. You know, adjacent landowners weren't made aware, let alone neighbors adjacent to them. So that opportunity was missed. I think there's still a lot of misinformation out there, which was, you know, brought up a couple meetings ago. I watched on your YouTube channel. Can we expect to see the information put out in like a bundle package? Where you guys can show, you know, this is the steps we took, and we did things the right way, because I think there's a lot of people that are disgruntled and thinking this is getting shoved down their throat and hidden under the table, and I'm convinced there ought to be some type of paper trail that says, you know, that we did it the right way, it is an inconvenience, but we're gonna work through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I
So
got,
You've seen the burn, haven't you?
I have.
In the back.
But I'm talking about the process leading up to it and the involvement of the community, you know, to have an input. I would like to see some type of paper trail, or I think, you know, all the citizens here are entitled to see
sure.
the documentation. And I think that would clear up a lot of this misinformation.
Well, and some of the misinformation, and once again, I'm not a Facebook, is they can shove that as far as I'm concerned. That's a lot of information right there. We have the county attorney here, and we'll address the paperwork trail, and we can find and document everything and have it sent and at our December meeting.
Or, I mean, just made available. You guys have a website?
We do have a county website, stuff like that. The problem that irritates me the most is, and once again, I know social media is good for a lot of things. It provides a lot of information to a lot of people. But it also, it's a joke. Because, hang on a second, you're next. No, you can get mad, I don't care who gets mad, I don't care. The thing of it is I see people send me stuff from Facebook posts that somebody said this or said that. They don't know the whole entire spectrum of the thing. I had some,
That's my point. I think there's been a lack of information.
well, in the lack of information that we can provide, the false information that people gather, I can't do anything about that. People are gonna say what they want to say. I don't think anybody, I know the Board of Commissioners, I don't think anybody here, including people out here, we don't have a riff with anybody. We're not just saying, we'll just do whatever we want, we care less what anybody else says. We've not done that. We don't want to do that. That is not our intention. It's never been our goal. Are we going to make mistakes? Yes, sure, we all do. As far as the paperwork trail, we'll make sure we get all the paperwork trail done. He's been part of it, and we'll put that all together, put it on the webpage, and you can see.
I think that helped her a bunch.
Okay, because there's never been any, this is shady. Commissioner's gonna do what they want to do because they can do what they want to do. Nobody better tell me that, because that's not the fact. That's a bold-faced lie.
But the problem is that an adjacent landowner was caught off guard today. It's,
And I understand that, you know, in Matt's defense, and then, and I'll say, I understand what Matt's saying, not everybody go around to all the people in Patricksburg. Should have they went around to the adjoining property owners? Me personally, yeah, I think so, that probably should have happened.
So did anybody out here, did anybody show up to you to let you know that they were gonna shoot?
No.
And you're all joined up to the property?
I don't join up, I'm across the road, but it funnels right down.
I mean, if everybody has a property tax address, it would have been real simple to send out something to where they
Okay.
receive the taxes. Because I think there's maybe
Right.
8, 9, 10 landowners, so.
So with that, since that, let's say that didn't happen, chief, you know, the adjoining, I'm talking about adjoining property, wasn't notified, okay, so now we can't do nothing about that. But what we can do in the future is, especially getting with the chief, to let the landowners know, the adjoining, and let everybody know in Patricksburg that on this day, at this time, this is what's going to happen. Excluding holidays, hunting season, stuff like that. But I think that's where the community, you group, especially the group that's out there, communicate that, and I appreciate you coming here and doing that, and go with him, go out there, look at the range, have an open discussion with him out there at the range. Go see it, talk, and I'd be more than happy to go, or Dave, or one of the commissioners to go, because we do want to hear what you have to say. And we're not downplaying it at all, Brett, by no means. We absolutely, I get where you're coming from. We're here to help. We're not here to harm or hurt or just say, well, we're commissioners, we'll do exactly as we please. We've had too much of that in the past. That don't happen. Yes, young lady.
Well, my whole problem was just being not, the courtesy of not letting people know. And you talk about Facebook. Well, I agree with you on that, but that's how we were notified, by Facebook. So that's kind of an oxymoron right there. So,
I'm not sure what that word means, but I trust you, ma'am.
That's why I flipped it on you. So anyway.
I like it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
And Dave, I'm Margie Byerly, and I texted you, and I called you, and I asked you to respond to me about, you know, because you were our commissioner, and I asked you to respond to me about what's going on, and I emphasized the courtesy of just letting the landowners know. I never heard anything from you, and so then your mind gets to going. So you went to the source, like I did, trying to get an answer, no response whatsoever. And I'm not one to cause problems, I am not. But when I feel strongly about something, I will speak up.
And we want you to.
And I feel very strongly about this because it affects a lot of people.
No,
And
ma'am, I was told that every landowner around there was notified.
No.
That's what I was told, so I
No.
thought, okay, that's
No,
done.
there was, nobody came, nobody said anything, nobody let anybody know. And, you know.
That's why I asked that question earlier, because I was like,
And there's another thing is, I feel like if this wasn't for Patricksburg, because we all know what Patricksburg is, being dumped on them. I don't think that if this was any other part of the county, I don't think it would be happening. I really don't. I think the opportunity, of course, is the landfill, but I still think that if it wasn't for Patricksburg, being the area that it is, you know, this be happening. So,
Well,
said my piece.
and, yes, sir, the guy, you, sir.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, Bob, I'll get, buddy, I'm not,
you can go
You're up
one by.
The only thing I would like to know, where are we gonna let outside agencies come in and use this range?
I have, it's, like I say, it's not even been brought to us.
Just assuming it gets brought up.
You know,
You think we're gonna let them?
well, and I know what you want, you're wanting an answer tonight, and I'll tell you, I'm not gonna give you one, because I wanna make sure, before we even think about another agency, I wanna make sure that the people of Patricksburg and Chief Deputy Miller have met and talked and got this hashed out first.
So there's a possibility, instead of it being X amount of days, it could be X times 3 later on if we let other.
Well, you know, we're gonna have to be, we're gonna be and I'm not speaking for you, Chief, by no means. We're gonna be mindful of the people in Patricksburg.
And as far as the noise, I don't want to give up my hunting spot, but I was about 450 yards south of Highway 46 when I started out shooting start, and I cut my hunt short and drove home. I said, what is all this noise? I could tell it was coming from the Patricksburg area.
But, and once
That
again,
46 is quite a good ways. I was northeast of Patricksburg,
Right.
probably 5 miles.
and once again, the chief just said that it's not gonna be during hunting season. This is the first time the range got open. We had to do some work out there, and they had to get some work done. Believe me, we're not against you. I think there's nothing that can't be worked out. God's in control as far as I'm concerned anyway, and all things are gonna be worked out. A lot of people don't wanna hear about this, but I don't, if you don't wanna hear it, close your ears. I pray about everything. I do, because I have to come underneath that guidance, and some people do, and some people don't, and that's okay, but I think the first step is meet with the chief out there at the range, and you may see something, you may have an idea. Let's get that done first. Wait a minute, this guy's up first, Doug. What's Chris? Is that your name? Sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, got it right first time, huh?
I live southwest of the range and probably the closest residence. And definitely if a stray bullet went over the berm, could hit my house and kill my kids. And I just want to be sure that if I'm out feeding my pig in the morning, or my kids are up collecting firewood, that they're not going to get a bullet. I mean, I'm also concerned about the decibels and small things like my dog being freaked out like it's 4th of July, but that's not as big a deal. I got livestock, so I'm not worried about stocking my freezers with a deer. So that's all concerning, but for me, it's more of a safety issue.
Sure.
I'm scared. I don't know what safety precautions, because I apologize, I didn't come to the meetings where all of the, I'm sure you talked about the safety and design that would minimize, stray bullets, going to adjoining properties. I'm sure that's considered, and I'm sure that there are safety procedures that you and your department follow, because you've been doing this in the private sector for so long to maintain the certifications that you have. But I definitely want to take that opportunity. I haven't been out to see the construction design, and but yeah, I would like some assurances that I'm not going to get shot walking around my property, and my kids aren't going to get shot, and I'm not going to find bullet holes in my barn, and personally, I appreciate that you're interested in hearing us, but I would like to see specific written limitations
Yes.
on the use. Like, I don't know what kind of guns you're planning to use. I'm sure you want to get certified for your sidearms and regular stuff, but, is there no limitations? I mean, can you use any guns whatsoever? These kind of things I would like to see in writing, just, for my own
you know, just to assure the community, you know, the people who are paying the taxes and supporting this building and the property, you know, that the location that the shooting range is being built on, you know. So for me, it's primarily I want to be assured on the safety front. Definitely the rest is concerning. I think my neighbor, Mr. Long, has talked about limiting the days, and that certainly makes sense to me as well. But, you know, I don't think it's unreasonable for there to be public safety guidelines and limitations on the use of this thing. And I certainly agree that, you know, it should be for our county resources, and Spencer, certainly a part of the county, our sheriff's part of the county, no arguments there. But, yeah, whether we need to be bringing in folks from Monroe or wherever, I don't think that's necessary at all.
Yeah,
And I see no reason for that.
and I respect that, and I don't want to say any more than I need to say at the moment, but I do respect that. Yeah, we have the sheriff's office, we have DNR that works out of Owen County, and Spencer PD. You know, those are the necessary musts. Those are the necessary musts. So that is my biggest concern right now, to make sure they're qualified, Spencer PD and DNR, because they work in their county as well too, you know. Now, they may have other facilities to use, but we have DNR that patrols Owen County, so I consider them part of the team, if that makes sense. But as far as bringing Monroe County Sheriff's Office over here, or Linton PD or stuff like that, that's not even crossed my mind. Does that make sense? I know what you want. You want me to give you...
Written limitations on use and written safety procedures and, you know,
Understand.
is what we're interested in.
Sure.
As well as the, you know, welcoming the neighbors to come out and tour the facilities. Definitely, that's a great idea as well.
And I think, you know, this is something that a chief and I will speak about as well too. Not because we're hiding anything, but I want to know what his thoughts are on other counties coming in. You know, he's the safety guy. He's the gun expert. I followed his lead when I was out there trying to shoot. I'm not, so. But
Well, the other counties are of no concern to me. My primary concern is the deputies that work in this county and the citizens that they serve. That's primary and 100% my goal and intentions. We need a place to train, we need a place to qualify, we need a place to be able to get these guys to the level that they need to be. And my concern doesn't lie with other agencies.
so, with that being said, I'm still not gonna sit here and make a decision because I just don't do that. But you heard what the firearms instructor said. You just heard what he said, didn't you? About other agencies?
Yeah, other agencies, I just don't want a stray bullet coming over a berm.
We're talking two different things. We're talking safety, we're talking about other agencies. I'm on the other agency, because that seems to be the big concern.
Not at all, for me personally, safety is
Well,
the
say-
primary concern.
Until you have something in writing here, you have nothing. You can change your mind tomorrow. Next commissioners meeting, Monroe County wants to come in here, okay, let them finish. Until you stop them and else we have something in writing.
Well, then here's what we'll do
We
for
have
you.
nothing.
Well, my word is something.
Well, commissioners
Oh, I don't know
go
you.
and so do sheriffs.
I don't know you.
That's right there wrong.
Well, see, that's not how I'm gonna operate this way.
No, I'm just telling you, you don't know me.
No.
I'm just telling you what I.
But
think.
we're not gonna put this off 6 months, sir. I'm telling you that right now. There's gonna be decisions made relatively soon.
That's
I just
everyone's
won't,
decision.
yeah, but don't go that direction.
I will tell you this from my perspective, and this is where, if another agency wants to use the range, they're gonna contact me. And I'm going to tell them no. That's where that's going to be right now. Of course, I'm speaking now, I'm chief deputy, The sheriff is my boss. He could say something different. I don't think he would. But that's possible. But I will tell you this, on the day, and if we could lock a date in now, and that would be great, that we meet out there, the sheriff will be there, and you can hear it from him. But I will tell you right now, and since I've been a firearms instructor for the office, the use of ranges is, even when Harley's in the range, he kind of put it in my lap, you know, hey, someone, he was okay with using it. But they called and scheduled for me, so, and then later on, after Harley passed away, and then Greg kind of said, hey, here's what I want out of it. You know, I'm okay with these departments, but I don't want all these other departments coming out, so it kind of narrowed down also. So, yeah, I will tell you from my perspective, and I hate doing it because we've been in a tough spot. We had to use Lawrence County's range the last time we qualified, which is an hour-and-a-half drive to try to pack up everything and get down there and try to figure out how we're gonna cover the road at the same time while we're an hour and a half away. You know, ISP's range down there, they were decent enough to let us use it. But, yeah, I mean, it's extra noise, it's, I mean, I'm not an attorney, but, you know, liability, I'm assuming, you know, to some extent, potentially. So no, that's not where we're at right now, especially until we're all comfortable with what's going on and everybody comes to a mutual understanding of what's happening. I am not going to give permission to any other agency to come in and shoot.
Can I close this out, or? Well, I think we're gonna kick a dead horse all night long.
Well, yeah, we're gonna end this,
You guys
move
got a lot
on.
of
We
stuff
got,
to do, so if we could just review the memorandum, address safety concerns, those types of things. I think the use from other departments, the lead there should go back to the residents that surround it, what we would have to deal with in the future. So, and I know what Gary's saying, I think it's the fact of having it in writing. You may not be sitting in that position in a couple of years. And so you may give your word and all of that, but you may not be there, the sheriff may not be there. And so a memorandum of understanding at least puts everything on the table. We all kind of agree to it. And then if it has a change, we have another forum, and you want to use it 40 times a year, this is going to come back to whoever's sitting there next time. So I think we've addressed most of the issues.
yeah,
You
and
said-
I agree with your memorandum of understanding. I'm not opposed,
Yeah,
please, I'm not opposed to that.
I know you just don't want to commit to the times because you got to think, I mean, there's a lot of conversation pieces.
We got some things we want to talk about and
Sure,
stuff
absolutely.
like that, but I can probably rest assured you beyond a shadow of a doubt that we'll have some sort of understanding before the end of the year.
That's perfect.
And you
And
said you kind
if you can't give us a month, if you, huh?
of, I was just asking a question.
If we can't be allotted that amount of time, it will never happen.
Yeah, I agree. I think plenty of time.
Yeah, give us to dissect.
So we don't have to redo this again.
No, we don't want to do this
Yeah.
again. Don't do it.
But I would like to see everybody get with Matt and set up a time to go
Yes.
out there. That way you all, I mean, if you can do that tonight, all of you get together out of wherever you want to get together and figure out a date and a time.
Yeah,
and you
Chris,
said
you can go out there and
you
look.
had a document that we could
See,
kind of start
Get a
with,
visual on
that
it.
you gave to her?
Give it to, I gave it to Ms. Reeves and I will
Yes,
send
Doug.
a copy.
All right.
You remember the gun range that was out there on 43 that they closed down?
Yeah.
Why wasn't that reopened and used that?
You know, that was actually something I would have loved to have done, but, as a matter of fact, when they opened that range, I was, kinda had in my, same with sheriff then, and I kinda had it in my head that, you know what, if this business doesn't do too well, this would be a great spot to try to snatch up and use that as a range.
Well, they told me that they needed more dirt back there, and they wasn't gonna pay for dirt, it's the reason they closed it down.
I will tell you, I don't know this for sure, but I will tell you from all the involvement I had with it, it was, and I don't, to this day, I'm telling you, I don't understand it.
dirt.
I don't understand how this happened, but, that place had, what I believe to be a very sufficient berm out there. People in the area that lived just beyond the range, which was a lot closer, were, reporting bullets in the yard, bullets in their side of their barn and whatnot. And then oddly enough, trees directly behind the berm were getting shot, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So they went in and built, going with the, if you can't see sky theory, so they built shooting sheds out there, so you sat in a seated position, there was a overhang that went over, so that when you're looking from your shooting position, you see the berm, you cannot see the sky. If you were to shoot above to where you could get around over the berm, you would shoot into this overhang that was up there. They were still getting reports of rounds going over that berm. I'll never understand for the life of me how that was happening, I don't know. But I don't know what their financial issues were out there or whatever else,
But it is closed down.
yes, they closed it a couple years ago. And to be completely honest with you, I think based on ISP's involvement with it and the investigation and everything, that's kind of one of those things that, I don't think the county could have touched that with a 10-foot pole based on the
No.
issues that they had out at that range before.
Well, on a side note, with all that shooting, my wife is handicapped. She has cataplexy. I about had to pick her up twice today. And that's something I don't want to make a habit of.
I think and I appreciate that, and I don't want to cut you short by no means. Get together with Chief Miller, and when we move on to the next thing, if you just want to step aside and talk to him.
Can we just quickly, the week of December 1st, is that something that would work for, if we can set a date on that week?
Just go ahead and set a time and date now, guys, and that way we've got that part done.
What's the first fall
Monday. A Monday?
Yeah, it's a Monday.
Monday?
How about that
First
day?
of Monday.
Come on,
You say
dude.
Monday at 10 o'clock?
Monday at 10 o'clock, first meeting, December 1st at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And if one of the commissioners want to come out, I'll let the sheriff know.
I'd like to see it.
Where we meet, just right there at the entrance?
Yeah, you can just, the gate will be open, just drive back. Just follow the gravel road until you see us. That's all we're
I appreciate you all coming.
About a
And-
quarter of a
and
mile back.
we're gonna work together to get it resolved. That's how we get things resolved, by working together. We're going to. So, the Biley Road people. You've already had your chance to talk, Byron.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. No.
I thought.
The Byerly Road, and I know this has got to do with county highway, I never stay organized here, so, does your road look better?
It's
Yeah,
good.
it's
getting-
better.
It's getting.
We do have good news tonight,
Better,
folks.
best, and marvelous. Not there yet, but better.
And I went over.
We're getting there, is what you're saying.
He spoke to me.
I went over and told them.
Okay. All right, I appreciate you all coming. Everybody's got my number. If you got any questions, concerns, call me, call the chief.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you all for coming.
Thanks for listening.
On anything for you.
See you guys out there.
Yeah, I want that in writing.
Oh, everybody wants something in writing. Oh, boy. I just want to leave at 7.
If I could,
I'm coming to your office next week. Are you gonna be guys open next week, or are you closed? Just,
Well, I'll be open Monday. You'll also be open. I'm gonna be there Monday, Tuesday I'm flying.
go see, I've already got my uniform. I've got my Windex bottle and my squeegee and the
Man, I'll
whole
get you the
house.
appointment form, you can sign in and get you started.
That's all needed, that's all needed.
can I, before we officially move on from this topic, can I just give you a quick synopsis of today? I touched on it with them, but I don't think they, yeah. So we shot today, for a total of 20 minutes of actual trigger time today. So our morning session from 8 to 12. Our morning session from 8 to 12 started with our pistol qualifications. It was 550 rounds. That's in a sequence of, we shoot a sequence of 40 seconds, then we shoot for 25 seconds, 20 seconds, 17 and 10. That's a total of 1 minute and 52 seconds shooting pistols. That's the amount of time we shot, 1 minute and 52 seconds of shooting pistols. We then pack our pistol stuff up, we discuss what we just did, we set up for the next course, which is our rifle course. That's 600 rounds total amongst all the shooters. A sequence of 70 seconds, then 45 seconds, then 25, then 5 seconds. That's a total of 3 minutes and 10 seconds. We did do our shotguns, which is 5 rounds per person, and an average of 30 seconds per shooter because it's time different, so that totaled about 5 minutes of shooting. So the total morning session from 8 to noon, we shot for an actual 10 minutes and 2 seconds of gunfire. 10 minutes and 2 seconds. With large breaks in between. It is not constant gunfire by any means whatsoever. The second session was the same, with the exception that our rifle qualification only had 7 shooters on the rifle, so it was a 420 round count, but the same time. So there was a Facebook post asking why we were shooting thousands of rounds within 100 yards of occupied dwellings into an open field because we don't have a backstop. Absolutely none of that is true whatsoever. We shot 1,100 pistol rounds today, 1,020 rifle rounds, 100 shotgun rounds with a total shooting time of 20 minutes and 4 seconds. So
Thank you.
it's not an all-day shoot. We're not shooting all day. Out of an 8-hour period, there was noise for 20 minutes and 4 seconds. And I'm not downplaying what I get it. I drove around with Dave, I drove around. It makes noise.
If you would forward that to me, that way when we put all the paperwork and documentation together, we can have that so the people out there in Fairy Tale Land, Fairy Tale, Facebook, so they can, we could put that out. Here's what transpired, so they would know.
I just want people to know that it's not, we get there at 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock, it's constant gunfire
Yeah.
from 8 o'clock to 4. It's not. We can't afford to shoot that much. It just doesn't happen. We can't do it.
Right.
It's a minimum amount, and I think, to be completely honest with you, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculously low amount that we actually shoot. People expect law enforcement to be, pistol snipers, and when we squeeze a trigger and the round goes, it goes exactly where we want it to go. We want that too. We can't do that if we don't practice. And that's an issue. So I completely understand where they're coming from. I feel terrible that we're not a county that can afford to build, this massive indoor range where noise wasn't a problem, but we're not that county. And we have to shoot. We owe it to them, the people that were sitting here. We owe it to them if we respond to their residents that we're being responsible and we're accurate if we have to utilize a firearm. And I hate it. For all the years of shooting at Shepherd Patrick, I never once, and I'm not saying anything bad about these people that are here, but I never heard a single complaint from Shepherd Patrick, not a single time. So yes, I guess we could have approached things a little bit differently with contacting people, but based on 30 years of shooting at Shepherd Patrick and never hearing a thing, I will honestly say I'm quite surprised at the reaction that I wasn't expecting today. And the misinformation that was put out on Facebook today that just causes all kinds of problems. So
Chaos.
I don't know how to address. I'm just sitting here trying to think, maybe an email list or something. I don't know that we can send out to those that want to be on this email list in the area that I can put out. It wasn't for not trying. It's 2025. We don't have a daily newspaper. Facebook's the best way to get out to the general masses. It just is. I didn't choose it. That's just how it works.
Can you put that information on your Facebook page?
What?
As far as shooting time, that you're out there 8 hours and only shot X amount?
And people can typically, I get a lot of things, people will share a post and say, oh, they turn off comments on it because they don't want us talking about it. We don't turn comments on any of our posts because I don't want misinformation spread all the time from things. So yes, I can put that out there. That's not a problem. And a lot of this stuff, I think, to me, I was hoping today that it would be I guess I shouldn't have expected this, but I kind of anticipated today it would be it wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be, but it wasn't the reaction we got. So, but I will tell you this, today was probably some of the best ability to train that we have had in a long time. And in doing this for as long as I have, that was huge for us today. It's unfortunate that it was, there's a little bit of a shadow cast over it, but it is what it is, and we're willing to work with the public as much as we can. You know, but, there's just certain factors that I can't control. You know, we have requirements that we have to do, I don't have a choice in it. I don't get to choose how many bullets we shoot, I don't get to choose what the course of fire is a lot of times. You know, if one of our officers quits tomorrow and we hire a new person, I'm required by statute to put them through certain training.
Yeah.
And that includes live fire training that has to be done somewhere safe that we can do it. So, yeah, I honestly, I don't know what else to say about it. We're trying, and I want to be a good neighbor to the people in Patricksburg. The comment the one lady said that, you know, if this was anywhere in Patricksburg, it wouldn't be an issue. That is absolutely false, not true at all in any way, shape, or form. You know.
Well, Matt, I'll just be honest with you. I'm a little upset because I was told that every surrounding landowner there was notified and talked to about that.
I never spoke with any of the landowners except for, Brett. I did speak with him, and he told me the day I spoke with him that he was aware the gun range was going in since he took the lease for the hay, which I don't know how long ago that was, but it was a long time ago, that he's known a range was going in there since then. And I spoke with him that day and told him, you know, here's what we're doing out there, here's how qualifications will work. So yeah, he's the only one I've talked to. I couldn't tell you if anyone else has talked to anybody, he's the only person I've talked to.
Good deal. Okay, well, I'm done. No, sorry. Jail project update. Attorney?
So I know that you have selected BW and Garmon Construction to work jointly to build the jail. One of the next things we have to do is deal with the issue of establishing a building commission, which we'll talk about later. That has to do with issues regarding debt and some other things.
Okay.
So we'll deal with that. I'm going to work with the sheriff. Well, I won't, but one of the attorneys in my office will be working with the sheriff to develop what's called a scoping agreement. The scoping agreement is the next step in the process for developing the contract that will actually control the construction of the new jail. It sort of outlines what it is the county wants in terms of the key pieces for the new jail. And I was telling Matt that one of my attorneys, a guy named Tyler Lemon, who's a construction guy, will work with the sheriff in sort of shepherding the process through that, getting that scoping agreement established. I know BW has reached out to us and is anxious to get that started. So it's moving forward.
Any comment out there from anybody about the jail? I think we're still on the scheduled time frame, pretty much so.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, if everything continues to move forward the way it is with the dates and stuff like that, we are still waiting for our budget to come in. Hopefully that'll be soon, because we need to know what the budget's going to be. And we have no idea what legislation's going to do or how things may change there, but you know, we're still moving forward with the jail project, and it's on the correct timetable. So, scoping agreement, we'll get the deed to the property handled, and that's something we need to talk about as well here. But we're on the right track, and that's been a long time coming, Matt. Long time coming. So.
Yes, sir.
Any questions out there in the public, or anybody? David, I won't keep you any longer. I'm sorry you've been here so long, but just going to introduce, this is David Bolt. He's the new maintenance supervisor. Don't call me for any of your problems. If you need anything, get hold of David. Sheila put an email out. Give him some time. You got 8, 9 buildings to take care of, and 10,437 Christmas lights to put up. And he's only maybe, I don't know, he ain't even half done with the Christmas lights. So give David some time. Dave, you got a phone number, please?
Got the phone number, it's 812.
I don't want it. Give us everybody know.
9301.
Wait, what is it?
812-821-9301.
I've got to the 812 part.
821-90.
9301.
9301.
And my email is up now too, so either way.
Well, and Dave, I've already talked to you about this, but you have 3 commissioners. If you got a question, you call any of us. We just don't do this tit for tat. Well, I do these calls and that calls. You call any of us. You can't get a hold of somebody, call the other person. I trust these guys, they trust me, and if they tell you to do something, that's just the way it is. So, I mean, you guys okay with that? I don't. Chad, you got anything especially you want to talk about tonight?
Nothing major.
Well, praise God. We got 5 minutes, we'll get out of here. Oh, here he comes. Now, notepad.
I got notes.
I didn't think you had anything to talk about.
Okay, after finishing Class Road, our CCMG, we're right now $5,000 below estimated cost.
That's good.
That leaves us this spring, we still got 3 full roads to do, but
So
right
let
now,
me, okay, all right, let's get to that. I hate putting these on, taking them off, but how's my niece doing?
Good.
That's a good answer. Good answer.
We'll tell you the real story after the meeting.
Yeah. So we have Hollybrook still to do.
Hollybrook,
We have Anderson Road still to do,
yes. And P Ridge.
P Ridge
and P Ridge.
and Country Club.
That country club is actually
It's
part of Hollybrook.
Hollybrook, right.
So
And our-
Hollybrook, 5 and 11 are part of the same deal.
Yes.
So if we can stay, well, it's not if we can stay. Be watching these numbers close.
We have
Now,
been,
they're not gonna be paving anymore, they should be done paving. So, I know you guys appreciate you and Benita and what you're doing, watching these numbers close. I'm glad to hear that we're in the black and not in the red. That's a positive note. And I do want to express a sincere thank you from some people at P Ridge. When they realized that their road was going to be paved, they were shouting for joy. I told them, I said, yeah, well, call Chad and thank him, so. Okay, so we got those to do. Then, go ahead, Chad.
Monroe County mutual agreement with Owen County, you guys signed, I believe, at the last meeting.
Yes,
Monroe County has signed their part of it. I
okay.
think Sheila brought copies of the agreement with her. Weather cooperating, that work will start to redo the approaches on the bridges on County Line Road next week.
Next week?
Yes.
Yeah, the commissioners, sorry, Chad, go ahead. I interrupt people all the time and I apologize.
Monroe County Highway Department is taking care of all the work. We're just gonna help split the bill.
And the total bill for both approaches, is $46,500. That leaves the county $23,250 to pay
Yes.
for both approaches. What is that next bridge north of that?
The little one over the railroad, that one?
I don't have the inventory in front of me. I'd have to
That's
look
all
at a
right.
bridge number.
Number? No, let's not even talk about it. It's approaches that I'd like to see fixed as well.
Okay.
They're not as bad as this one here, so we'll get this one done and move on.
Okay.
No problem.
Did
So-
you get your hot patch? or-
They're gonna get that done next week.
Weather cooperating.
Weather
They're planning
cooperating,
to
that's
hopefully
good.
Get it done before Thanksgiving.
I'm glad to hear that. That's been a long time coming.
I've left that all in Monroe County's hands because they're gonna take care of all of it. We just gotta help split the bill, so.
Yeah. We're good, and it's all been signed, we're good to go. They signed theirs, they got a copy of that. You guys got a copy of that. And that's done. Okay, Chad, what else you got?
I have ordered 250 ton of salt for this
Yeah.
25-26 winter at a cost of $40,000.
Hallelujah. How much, 200?
250 ton,
250 tons of salt.
And how much was that?
$40,000.
We got somewhere to store that out of the weather, right?
Yes, it's in the salt,
It's
I mean,
in the building.
and we got 2 loads today. We'll fill our barn now. And then as we need it later in the season after January, then we'll start bringing and we'll have it stockpiled back up, start next season.
So they'll let you store it at their place essentially?
Yeah, it's
and bring
there
it-
until
okay.
we're gonna need it.
All right.
One other thing, this is an IT thing.
Uh-huh.
I want
Talk to him.
permission to contact our IT department. Our computers need updated so we can do, Teams meetings.
Yeah, he
We
sent
have
me
no
a-
speakers, we have no video. All the FEMA meetings now are being done.
Okay.
We're speakerphone, it's not the clearest.
He sent me a list of all the stuff we need to upgrade today with a quote, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So I'll look through that.
You're not on that list, but
We'll-
because
we'll-
it was the Windows 10 and
Right.
they weren't compatible with the 11, but
Right.
they definitely need.
And how many do you have?
We have a total of 4 desktops,
You have 4 in the office.
4 in the office.
4? Okay.
2 for now would be
I was gonna say, if
be
you
fine,
get
just
these
get
2
2 of them, where we can have those Zoom meetings and not.
You
try to
care
do
if they're
it-
laptops? Do you mind if they're laptops, or would you prefer a desktop?
It'd be easier if the desktops were, because they're right there, if they were
Okay.
already set up for it, but I mean.
I don't know
laptop would
that, we'll probably have to replace them. I don't know that we'll be able to upgrade them like you're talking about. I'll have to ask them, I'll have to defer to
Okay.
them on that, but, so you prefer a desktop even if it's a new machine, or do you care?
be- You have a preference?
Desktop.
Desktop, okay.
IO guys need a desktop.
I just wanted to know what to ask for.
I need to go home too.
Okay, and then, since you've got cold patch now, don't forget Clark.
We won't, we're still working on Byerly. And it's gotta be weather cooperating, no rain.
Right, right,
and all
right.
that type stuff.
As
So
long as it's on the list.
It is
Okay.
there,
All
it is
right.
there. Just an update, our bridge asset management plan has been completed with LTAP, that is done. The asphalt, asset management plan is almost completed. There's a couple things we've gotta get in contact with LTAP at, but we'll be in and have that all done, and that's stuff we have to have done to apply for CCMG the next year.
Okay.
Right.
The only bad news is, right now, I
Wait,
have
whoa, no bad
all
news.
3 mowers are down.
Fix them.
Ugh,
The Motrim mower is down, it's warranty work. We're waiting on Tiger mowers to get the parts shipped to Hudson John Deere. As soon as that's done, they'll be up to fix it. We've got one that the PTO has went out on the tractor, we're trying to figure out why. Still looking into that. The other tractor has a major hydraulic leak that we're looking into to figure out. So right now, we have no mowers up and running.
where are we at on the big one?
Do what?
Where are we at on the one they were gonna split and all that?
What they didn't split it.
Okay.
He's gonna change all the filters out, run it, make sure it doesn't have an issue.
It is moving now.
It is moving
Yeah, it's
itself now?
moving.
Oh, good, good. Maybe we can get that one back.
To go out driving around. and
We've
all
got
that.
there's a couple hydraulic pumps that need to be replaced on it. All the fluids drained, filters, and then once that's done, we'll be.
That's in the
ready to take
works
that.
already, right?
Right.
Yep, yep.
And it wasn't 40 grand, I'm assuming?
No, it won't even be close to that.
Good, even better. See, that's good news, Sam.
That's good.
Well, praise God.
We got a couple push mowers. They don't run,
Can we use the inmates to run
they
them?
don't run, but you can.
So, gentlemen, we have HWC Engineering, an agreement to provide services for the highway department. If we need an engineer for a bridge inspection real quick, or, you know, just something, if Chad has a question about a culvert or whatever it may be, or any kind of paperwork issues with FEMA, any kind of paper, anything that you need help with, HWC gave us a agreement to provide services. This is no cost. It only costs if you ask them to come down and do something. Okay, and the price is, you know, if you get an engineer, it's gonna be a little more than a secretary or whatever it may be.
Do we have a list of the costs if they do have to use them? Is it in here?
Yes.
Okay. I hadn't seen that page yet. Oh, here we go.
But the prices on that are very reasonable, extremely reasonable.
And this doesn't cost us anything to be in this, as
No,
long as we don't call them, huh?
Yep, if we don't call them, we owe them nothing. So, gentlemen, I make a motion that we approve the HWC engineering agreement to provide services.
Got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Real.
Now, what's the protocol gonna be for him contacting them? Is he just gonna do it on his own, or is he gonna run it through you first?
Well, normally they'll call and say, hey, Dave, I got a problem with this, and, you know, we really can't figure it out. Then I'll say, okay, give a phone call to HWC.
Right.
and
So there'll be a
see what
second
they say.
set of eyes on it, right? That's all I'm asking.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Nothing against you, Chad, I just wanna
No,
make sure everybody knows what's going on.
I'm not an engineer. so.
Jeez, no,
Another thing with FEMA, we had a meeting with FEMA today. We kind of felt like we were being pushed. They wanted to have another meeting on next Tuesday,
No, they wanted to have a meeting tomorrow morning.
tomorrow. We got it pushed back to next Tuesday, but we also talked to the guy from IDHS, Matt. He is canceling that meeting, and he's coming Monday to sit down with us to make sure that we're understanding everything and that we're not gonna sign anything to put anything in jeopardy.
Well, I got a question. Are we confused or are they?
They are.
How many meetings have we had?
We
Go
have
ahead, Benita. Go jump right in.
multiple meetings.
My conversation that I had with Matt today, they being FEMA, and he said this to them, they have been trying to get all the information together for those big projects, and they have the small ones, the Cat A and C that we're dealing with now, fall behind. He said, so had they have told us and him weeks ago that this is the information they needed, we could have already had this done. But they've been looking at the big picture, not the smaller things, and so now we have until November 29th to do the Cat A and the Cat C. The Cat A is the debris cleanup, and they just need the equipment hours broken down for that. And then the Cat C is the Thompson Bridge cleanup. And the specific thing they needed on that, there was a hole by the approach, and they
Right.
filled that in, they just need the pricing breakdown, man hours and information on that. And then those two projects then will be moved over to the next step, so it comes closer as being able to get reimbursed for those jobs. So
They had-
basically, the work that we'd already completed, they hadn't been pushing that, because that meant they would have to give us money sooner. That's my.
And they have all the information. It's just not broke down the way they wanted it.
Yes.
So now we're having to go back through and break it down.
It's only about the ninth time they've told us
So
that.
the first,
New
no, well,
request versus the last meeting we had a couple
this-
weeks ago, that they.
we turned all that stuff in. This is great. This is exactly what we need. Now it's changed to where it needs to be broke down more. So
I think after the conversation.
Matt from IDHS is stepping in. Slow, they're done. Take it little by little.
You thought they'd want to take part of that little bitty stuff to get the money reimbursed to us so we can have some operating expense money.
Yes. And that's what I've been pushing
Well, that
for
makes
this
too
whole
much
time
sense.
to get,
Yeah, what am I?
I've been trying to get them to say, hey, we're done with this completed work. Let's get the money in for this. And it's just been,
And I think that's what Matt stepped in.
and this afternoon's meeting, I was very aggravated after this morning's meeting. So I listened in, but I did not speak because I was probably gonna say something I shouldn't have, so I just let her handle it, just to be honest.
Okay.
The voice of reason.
Other than that,
That's it?
I don't have anything else.
Well, praise God.
I do have, do what?
Do you need any of them to be on the meeting Monday?
Monday is with Matt.
Matt from IDHS, Jack I've talked to Jack.
Is
Jack-
Matt coming to your office?
Yes,
At 1 o'clock.
he will be there.
I'm gonna work on the stuff tomorrow and try to get as much of it together.
Send me a reminder if I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty booked, so.
I might
But
be able
send
to
me a
take
reminder,
my
maybe
lunch
at least
that
one
time and
commissioner
just-
could be out there. I know Dave's gotta work, maybe me and Norm could get there.
I can take my lunch at 1 or a little before 1.
All right, that's it. You got 5
That's it,
minutes,
that's
I'm
all I
leaving.
got.
All right, appreciate you, buddy. Anybody, public comments, you find outstanding gentleman there in the back. Well, you guys are great. Hi, young lady, how are you?
Fabulous.
You got anything you wanna talk about?
Not tonight, no.
What's that mean? Something's coming?
Potentially.
Potentials. Good.
Nothing bad.
Yeah. I got, attorney, you got anything you'd like to tell us?
Other than I'm going to get an executive session scheduled
Okay,
for the week after Thanksgiving.
okay, we can do that. Sheila can make that arrangement. So,
Happen after your December 4th meeting?
Well, I was thinking maybe if it's possible before,
Okay.
that way we can be ready to go.
We got that commissioner meeting.
on what?
The commissioners.
Yeah, we're at, we have, we're in a conference, the first, second, and third, sir.
May I ask where that is?
North someplace.
Keystone.
Keystone? It's that direction, folks. Get on to that tonight, head north. I can send it to you where we're at.
Well, I was gonna say, 'cause if you're in Indianapolis,
We are,
maybe we can reach.
okay. Let me, send you the address where it's at and see if we can make something, then we'll get ahold of Sheila, like ASAP.
I have to advertise it by next Wednesday if it's that following week and.
Okay.
Well, so it just has to be the Smithings house,
I designate one.
Yeah. right? I'll be in there.
Okay. I got a couple comments, and this Saturday at 10 o'clock on the west side of the courthouse, and I always forget to bring this up, we have prayer at 10 o'clock on the west side of the courthouse lawn this Saturday. Fourth Saturday of every month, 10 a.m. And to my fellow commissioners, I didn't drop the ball on this on purpose. As you know, with the SNAP benefits, whatever you want to call them, Girard Chapel Food Bank is closed for the winter. I was asked, everybody knows how I am about food, just take a look at me. I like helping people that's in need, always have been. Hoosier Hills contacted me, want to know if we could help supply some extra food boxes to people that are in need. And I said, yes, that would be great. We had to have a location. I went down to Jack White's office, not the EOC office, but the garage itself, the garage part. And I told him kind of maybe what my thoughts was. I couldn't bring it up at the last meeting because Hoosier Hills had to come down and look at the building. They come down, they thought it was absolutely wonderful. And they're supplying some food, boxes, ready-made boxes and other things that we can help supplement people that are in need. So that's the reason I didn't bring it last commissioner's meeting, because I hadn't had the building inspected. I should have talked to you about this beforehand, but I didn't, so I do apologize. I'll take any heat that comes this way. But the building, we can utilize it. It's going to be for maybe 3 to 4 months till Girard Chapel opens back up. It will be on Thursdays from 3 to 6 p.m. there at the garage. We'll put it on our webpage. And I do have some volunteers that will be helping. I know we have some commitments on, our commissioners meeting, of course, on that second meeting, but from 3 to 6, if you commissioners are okay with this.
No problem with it. Jack was good with it, obviously, so.
Okay. I jumped the gun on it, and I do apologize. I should have brought it to your attention, but I didn't. But we're opening up the facility next Tuesday for the public that's listening, since next Thursday is Thanksgiving. I'll be down there next Tuesday evening from 3 to 6. If you know anybody needs a supplemental food box, contact me at 812-821-3828 or stop by the building. It's a learning curve for me. We're going to try and make it as smooth transaction as possible, but after 2 or 3 weeks, we'll figure out, we'll make it work. Anybody wants to volunteer, please contact me, come down, help pass out boxes. It's not going to be get out of your vehicle and come in and shop. You pull up, we acknowledge you, write your name down, yada, yada, bring you out a box or a bag or whatever we have. Things are going to change. You may get a box, may get a bag, you may get this, may get that, but it's just supplemental. And I'm all about that. I always have been, and I want to partake in that, so. Okay, everybody good with that?
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I'm good with it.
Appreciate you guys, and like I said, I didn't mean to leave you in the dark, but to be honest with you, I've been a little bit overwhelmed with some stuff, and I imagine you guys have too. I want to thank the public for all their support and listening to us and encouraging us, and we ask to continue to work together. That's the only way it's going to work. Things are getting better. I personally believe things are getting better across the county, slowly but surely, but they are getting better, and they're going to continue to get better. I thank you both commissioners for all that you guys are doing. The auditor, you can't thank her and her staff enough for all that she puts together. The county attorney, I appreciate all that you've done throughout the course of this year. You've been handed quite a bit of stuff, but you've been on top of it.
Couple of things.
Little bit sooner than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, so, okay, any other comment? Oh, there she's got her hand up. Yes,
It's
but.
good news.
Praise God.
We got 4 months worth of our reimbursements back from the bridge money that we paid out for the bridge inspections. We got our money back from NDOT this week.
How much was that?
36,000
Hey.
and some change.
Good news.
See?
Good news.
I'll take that any day. Other two commissioners, I know we've talked about this a little bit on and out, and I'm gonna leave, we got 3 minutes. Is that, we got the domes done, the roofs done. They broke the concrete coming up front. That is going to be replaced. They're going to pay for that and handle all that on their own. So the scaffolding should be down next week. Dave's putting up the Christmas lights. And I absolutely forgot what I was going to say. Thank you. I'm getting estimates on windows for this courthouse. I got estimates when I was the maintenance supervisor, and that's been a day or two ago. We are losing upwards to 40% of our heating and cooling out these windows. You can't open them. They are a liability issue anyway. I'm working with Sheila to see where our funds are at and what money we have that we may be able to put towards this project. Once we get the numbers in, I'll let you know. This has been, to me, this is priority. I know money is always an object, but when you're losing 30 to 40% of your heating and cooling out your windows, you need to cut your losses, and I think it's time to cut the losses here.
And you found your, old window that you hadn't made years ago?
Yes, sir. When Hanlon's Hardware or Spencer Hardware the same, Chris Balt, who's getting us some quotes, Mark Hunsinger and Chris Balt back at the time made us a window, and I still have it. It's still down at the armory. Don't throw that window away. There are two windows at the top, and they crank out. They're casement windows, and it's got an awning window at the bottom. That way, if it's raining, you still open your awning window, you can get fresh air into this courthouse. We're lacking fresh air in this courthouse. It's just stale, so.
Not hot air, but fresh.
We should be having those quotes in, but once we get those quotes in, working with Sheila on the numbers where we can allocate some money from, we'll see what that is, and if we need some money, then we'll go to the council. That's all I got. That's enough. Anything? Anything? David, you got anything?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Welcome, Dave.
Yeah.
Thank you, glad to be here.
And if anybody, please, if you need a food box, don't feel embarrassed about it. If you don't want to talk about it in the meeting, call me. Our church has some still, and we got some going to be down here at Jack's Garage. Don't go without, or if you know of anybody that needs a food box, I don't care who it is, let me know. Meeting's adjourned.
Bring on the sign and stuff. Is there a copy of this?